Hey everybody! So we promised that we were going to do a bunch of reviews, and we haven't because we've actually been enjoying summer. We've not been sitting at the TV and the computer all the time, just, 3/4 of the time. But it's been pretty hot and humid here in Canada, so we've been out enjoying the beach and the pool, and well, I have. Mr. Matt only comes a little at a time. I went on a few vacations and he stayed home and gamed, but he refuses to do videos by himself or with me since he's not here today. Today I'm going to review a new game. It's called the Darwin Project. And this game is really, really awesome. It's produced by Scavengers Studio, and it's another multiplayer online battle royale game. And right now it's free to play. So, but right now it's also in the middle of the test version. So it's going to be changing and being improved. And they've already changed a few things. For example, in this game, you have a director who can sort of mix up the gameplay. And previously you gave them a ranking, and now there's just 4 categories that you can label them as: a storyteller, a sports newscaster, a joker, or a puppeteer based on their behavior, or you can just pass. Which is really cool because it kind of stops people from just giving you a really bad score for no reason, or just because they don't like what you do, because you can actually pick on the players and prank them, or pick on them and make them lose a little bit. But I dislike that I can't necessarily say this person was a bad director, although for the most part they're pretty good. The ones that actually do. There's quite a few people who play as a director and then they don't do anything. So the game itself, if you've ever seen the Hunger Games, is honestly, out of all the games that I hear are like the Hunger Games, this is the one that's the most like it. A group of convicts are trapped in an arena. You're a convict, and you can either play by yourself, and there are 10 people, so it's you against 9 other individuals, or you play in teams of 2, but again, it's still 10, so it's 5 teams against each other. And one of the things that I really love about this game, I think I've talked in other videos, actually I know I've talked in other videos, that normally I wear lovely glasses, which were reflecting the funny blue light, so I took them off. But the problem is that sometimes that means in certain games I can't keep up or play because if I don't have my glasses on, or in some games the graphics, like, it's really great for most people, but if you have any vision problems, it's hard to see. So the really great thing about the Darwin Project is that the things that you harvest, so you harvest leather chairs to get leather, and you harvest specific kinds of trees, not every tree, and you also harvest these electronic things that land. They light up blue, so the things you can interact with actually have a blue outline to them, so it's easier to see if you're someone who normally has a hard time discerning if, oh, is that something I'm supposed to pick up? And another really great thing about it is it's that blue against white, because there's mostly just snow in the game at this point because it's a post-nuclear war. And so there are 7 hexagons, 7 zones, and you get dropped into one of them, and slowly, one at a time, they close. And once one's closed, you can't go in there without freezing to death because of nuclear cold. So if you are freezing, you just light a fire. You can craft snowballs if you have that enabled. You can craft arrows, just different arrows you can shoot. So you come in with a bow and you come in with an axe. And you can craft boots to make yourself speed. You can craft a cloak that helps your stamina, and you can craft armor. And the boots and the cloak, you can go up to 5. The armor, you can just do 1. And so you can kind of accumulate. And there's not so much wood and leather in the game that it's super easy, but there's not so few far between that you can't play. Because that's something that I really don't like either, is I'm like, oh, I need this, like I can't do anything without it, and then I can't find any. So that's really great about it. And so as the director, which is probably one of my most favorite parts to play this, is I like to play solo if I'm not playing duos with Mr.MADD, is the director can log on and they can do things like send players extra wood, they can heal a player, they can warm up a player. They have different abilities depending on how much they've been a director and how much points that they've gotten. And the points are fans, so how many fans you get, because it's as if you're being in a spectator sport with people watching the arena. So that's the really cool part. The other really awesome thing is that because it ties in to Steam, it also ties into Twitch, so you can have real people watching your matches. So if you're the director and you have people watching the match, you can say, oh, who should I give the wood to? And the game will just take a poll. They have 15 seconds and they get, whoever wins gets it. Otherwise you select it. So I've played games where I have had spectators, and I've had games where I don't have spectators. And if there's no spectators and you pick that option, then you've wasted your action because it doesn't go anywhere. You can drop a nuclear bomb on a specific area. I really like to prank the players, and I'll drop an electronic, and then shortly thereafter I will have the area closing, so they have to get it or get out. If I see a lot of people congregating in one spot, I like to drop a nuke on them, or close the zone just to kind of break them up, or herd them over into one spot. And I like to do the nuke and the close the zone right next to each other, especially if on the other side is a zone that's already closed, because you really have to book it or know how to use the portals. Every zone has a portal down at the back that will just transport you to a random other one. Maybe there's a pattern, I don't know, I don't use them very often. So that's the Darwin Project. So far, Mr.MADD and I both really like it, although he kind of gave up. He likes to get me into games and then just take off and not play them. And so far, it's actually a lot of fun. And another thing is, while you're the director, you can broadcast to individual players, which I have not done, or you can broadcast to all the players. But when you broadcast to all the players, it's for a very short period of time, and then you have to wait so much time before you can do it again. So the nice thing is that if you do have a director who likes to make commentary, they're not just like yipping in your ear. I wish the distance in between was a little bit shorter, because I do like to provide a lot of commentary. But the upside is I've done director a whole bunch of times on the computer that doesn't have a mic, and it still works out fine. I still get prestige, which is those ranks of storyteller, puppeteer, sportscaster, or joker. And so it's a lot of fun. I find the director bit really funny because I like to mess with people. The only other downside was I was playing earlier today, and it was the middle of the day. It's the first day back to school, so in Canada, or at least in my part of Canada, all the kids went back today, and I know a lot of the American kids have already been back. So if there's a lot of kids playing, they're not, which, let's be honest, that's who's playing up a lot of bandwidth on games. And people are at their jobs, so I actually found that the server I was on, I was playing actually against the same people. So I actually was director, and someone won, and then I went into a game, and there they were playing. And then I actually played 2 matches in a row where I was killed by the exact same person. I think his name was Nate's dog, and it was spelled funny, and I was just like, no, he already killed me today. But that was kind of cool. And I like that there's not a lot of chatter. Sometimes I'm in the lobby where you're waiting and there's some people talking, but during the game part, you don't necessarily hear a lot of people shooting their mouths off, which is really great for younger kids that are playing it, or parents who want to know if they should let their kids play. And also, the one time I was listening to some people, they were just saying the like nastiest things or bashing the game because they didn't like directors. Then don't play the game if you don't like how it goes. No one's breaking your arm to make you play it. So I really like, so top points, I really like that there's not a lot of chatter and they limit the directors, but I do wish directors had a little bit more of a talk. I think it's very easy to find the items that you have to hunt for. It's easy to pick up. Now I'm playing it on paddle controller. I call them a paddle. And now that's because we have it set up that way. We have one routed through our computer, but most people are playing on a keyboard and a mouse, which I'm not a fan of. So definitely check out the Darwin Project. I'm not sure if everyone can get access right now or if it was just a select number of people, but we have access, and when it comes out, if you can't get access now, it's definitely something that you should check out. And I hope they kind of make a few improvements, but I hope they don't change it too much. Sometimes games change a little too much from the alpha and beta testing to the final product, and and then it's not something you want to play anymore. But as of right now, I think this is going to be a really great game. Really great for new players and really young players. And there's also that room for experienced players to play with rookies or noobs, as gamers call them, and to not totally get your ass handed to you, because that can be really disheartening when you're starting a new game. I found that going into this one, it took me a little bit to I'm still bad at aiming my arrows, but that's just me. But I can survive pretty long time, because that's the other thing. Even though it's Battle Royale, I actually won a match without killing anybody because I lasted longer than everybody else, like Hamish in the Hunger Games. And so if you're a person who likes to just kind of run away or hide, you can also actually win the game if you're really bad at aiming. You are going to do better, though, if you can actually hit someone with your axe or aim the arrows. I find I get killed way more often by an arrow than I do by an axe, unless I lure them into one of the buildings to try and make it so they can't shoot their arrows at me, and then I get hacked with the axe. So Darwin Project, definitely a great game to check out, and look for our other reviews. Hopefully we're going to give you some for the VR headset that we have, the Oculus. Couldn't remember the name. All right, have a great day.